Hello everyone! Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to start off with the Dawntrail role quests. First one we're going to do is, as you can probably tell from the axe, the tank ones. We start off the first of the role quests because we haven't done any of them. From Brook Evo over here at his wonderful establishment. Let's go ahead and talk to him and get started. Uncoth customers. Now from what I've read on these are a lot less serious and more like Hildebrand level funny, goofy kind of deal, compared with like last time we were dealing with a bunch of blasphemy stuff. So hopefully this will end up being pretty funny. Brook Evo has an urgent job for a courageous soul. Brilliant. I was wondering when you'd be along. Well, I mean, it's been quite a while since we could have started these, but wanted to wait until after the expansion. We finish the expansion because they're gonna have us. Actually, no, they don't. For each of these, we go to different places in the world, right? So then it doesn't actually matter if you actually wait. Because like Shadowbringers, you had not only were you required to finish them, but you couldn't do them until you got to the Tempest. So like they realized that their issue with that when they started doing the role quests, because that was the first expansion they did the role quests. But then in Endwalker, like they're going to do with this one, at least from what I've read, they're going to send us to different regions in the world, and I believe the tank one is going to take us into like Korthus area, so we'll go ahead and see how that goes. Brilliant. I was wondering when you'd be along. Not a moment too soon, either. I've got an urgent job that needs doing, and there's no one else I'd entrust with it. Of course, you'll be wanting to know the details. It's a long story, so why don't you grab a seat over there? I'll join you shortly. I have a few things to finish up here before I join you. Make yourself comfortable, Brilliant. It's going to be quite the yarn. Is it going to be like Yana's yarn? Anyway, there's our destination. I don't really see. Oh, there's a seat there. I'm just blind. Now then, now that we're all settled, allow me to introduce myself properly. I think Book Lamont did that for us, if I recall correctly, so I guess you can do it again if you want. I'm Brook Evo, propriety of Zabayev Tier. As you know, my establishment is open to anyone. People hailing from across Tyrol and sometimes further come here to whet their appetite and slake their thirst. Given how we turn no one away, it's inevitable that a few bad apples might mix into my motley patrons, and therein lies the rub. A particularly rotten bunch was here not long ago. Sitting just over there, in fact, and having a conversation most foul. See, a really good time for a migraine. I thank you all for coming here, so far from your respective homes. Oh well, I was gonna give her more a sinister voice, but if it's a bun girl and she's an elegantly dressed woman, I might add, maybe she should have more of a smoother voice? Yeah, let's go with that. As this is the first time we have all gathered in one place, perhaps formal introductions are in order. I am... Welcome. What will you be having? Right. I know I just said this is going to be more a comical thing. I didn't realize they were going to start it off immediately. Could we have a moment, please? We are in the middle of something very important. Now then, where was I? Oh yes, I am Abyahi. If you are sitting here now, it's because I've personally invited you to the passage of the Unbound, my secretive, villainous order, with ambitions to sow discord throughout the world. And you just say that out loud? Where everyone can hear you? Villains do not often call themselves such. Nor do secret orders have their meeting in places where all eyes can see. Good point. There you got Hildebrand sound effects. What do you know? Your snide remarks only ruin my carefully constructed atmosphere. If I had time to think of a suitable slogan, you would understand that words are everything. But I digress. I invited you all here for one reason, to throw the world into a mire of chaos, and then watch its nations crumble. What else would we call ourselves if not villainous? My only intent is to punish all those who dared mock and belittle me. So long as I can achieve that, you can call me whatever you like. The rich, the powerful, the mighty, all shall be crushed under the weight of my ire. A grand design for a group of 6. Even if we manage to muster others to our side, there's a limit to what we can accomplish. I regret to say you are right. At present, we are bound and powerless. That is why, in order to raise our fists against our oppressors, we must find the strength to shatter our shackles. And in doing so, we shall become unbound. Like the birds soaring up above, we shall take flight and spread our wicked wings, staining the azure skies with black. Okay, you can tone it down there. It's raining. Of course it's raining. It's always raining. But sometimes the skies become treacherous with clouds, and even birds must rest. You speak of finding strength. Is that why we are here? To look for it? If so, then I pledge my aid. With newfound might at my beck and call, I shall win adoration known only by a hero. Your eagerness is heartening, and you're correct. The tools to make our goal a reality lay in Thrall. Across this continent can be found certain artifacts which possess untold power. Did you say artifacts? Oh, I sense an adventurous hunt for instruments of devious devilry ahead. My imagination is overflowing with images of the new forms my trickery might take. I dare say the world is not ready. She says with a little bow on top of her head. Yes, well, to get to the heart of the matter, the objects are held by the disparate tribes which make their homes in the Trolley continent, where they have been passed down through generations as sacred treasures. Whatever stories these people have attached to their so-called treasures matters not. Each contain the essence of a fearsome beast, called the Troll Vidral. Well, this is gonna go well. And with them in our possession, none shall be able to stand against us. We shall take the objects for ourselves, bring them across the sea, and use them to undermine nations far and wide. The means by which you each chose to do so. Wait. Oh, the means by which you each choose to do so, I leave in your hands. I only ask that you do not disappoint. I take it there are no questions? Then let the passage of the unbound open unto the world. We begin at once. Ma'am, you didn't pay your bill. They didn't order... They didn't order a single thing. Like, guys, you can at least get some waters. Yes, quite foul indeed. They didn't even order anything. That's the long and short of it. What do you think? Quite an interesting organization. They might lack discretion, but they seem formidable nonetheless. No. They left without ordering anything? Villainous indeed. It's right there in their name. Yes. They are unbound by manners and respect, and won't be welcome back here anytime soon. You, on the other hand, can stay as long as you want. Yeah. Of course. We had a duty to report what we heard to the Landsguard. We did, but it didn't make a damn difference, because soon we learned those unwelcome guests had teeth. Yeah, I mean, I understand you would get confused by that considering they didn't order anything, but usually people have teeth. Not long ago, one individual from a remote tribe came here seeking help recovering a stolen relic. Then another came with the same story, and another, and so on. By the time we realized the passage of the Unbound was a real threat, they had one and all made their way across the sea with their ill-gotten gains. Each tribe has sent one of their own to recover what was lost, but being in strange lands, they're at a disadvantage. That's why I've been looking for someone who knows every corner of Eorzea and beyond. Well, that's me. Now, I know you've got business in Tyrol, or else you wouldn't be here in the first place. But if you could take the time to hear Raul Majun out, you'd be doing a service to You'd be doing a service to many who could really use a helping hand. Is that is that how their wave is? I can't remember what their race is called. The female big cats. Is that double-handed wave? Anyway, let's go and talk to Raul Majun to finish this introductory quest. Greetings. Allow me to thank you personally for lending your assistance in this matter. We've been quite desperate for someone suitable. Greetings, Raul Majun. At the risk of becoming a daily nuisance, I must ask, have there been any developments you might share? A nuisance? Why, perish the thought. You've come just in time, in fact. None other than the vaunted Brillian has agreed to aid the search. Finally, a fortunate turn. As long as our sacred treasures are in wicked hands, our homes shall know no peace. To say nothing of the danger they pose to other nations. If these thieves really do intend to stir up chaos across the seas, then you had better depart on the next ship. I'd rather just teleport. It's a lot faster. But before you do, it might be proper to introduce you to those who have come to Truliolol in search of aid. Loza Zennikwi there comes from a village far to the north. A single warrior cannot hope to withstand the power of her tribe's relic. Are you sure about that? So she requires a stout protector, someone who can be leaned upon when the times are darkest. Well, yeah, I think I've qualified for that. I mean, I did beat Shadowbringers after all. The heirloom that Naipin must recover afflicts terrible maladies upon its victims. He seeks someone who commands great healing magics to counteract this effect. Okay, that's the healing one. Oh, hello, ma'am. The search for Shashepya's tribal treasures has been entrusted to the Peerless Hunter. Okay, that's probably the ranged one then. She requires someone to act as a frontline fighter who can distract her targets while her bow takes deadly aim. Okay, never mind. That's probably the melee DPS. Or maybe it's the tank one. Actually, it's probably the tank one. Ooh, yeah, I like the sound of that. And lastly, there is Suhi, who knows little about her people's ancient artifact aside that it must not fall into the wrong hands. She seeks a mage of great power, but anything beyond that lies shrouded in mystery. Aren't you forgetting someone, Ralja? Your crisis is just as pressing, even if you don't say so yourself. Ralja hails from further south than even Mamuk, and has traveled many days and nights in search of someone who can strike down their prey from afar. Okay, he's the physical ranged one, okay. And it's the only way to escape the effect of his village's treasure. Did I get that right? Indeed, indeed. I do get so forgettable in my old age. Thank you, Ral Majun. 5 tribes, 5 stolen treasures. All are waiting for the aid of a brave soul. Hopefully that can be you, Berlian. Of course, I shall share all I know on the matter. You only need to ask. And know that I will not hold it against you should you choose to assist only those for whom your talents are best suited. So long as you do what you can, the people of Tyrol, and maybe even further, will be in your debt. Well, isn't like everyone in my debt, considering how many times I've saved the universe? Also, we are going to be doing all of them. We're just obviously only doing the tank one for today. Let's wrap this one up. You have gained access to the role quest for Dawntrail. A separate quest line and story is now available for tank, melee DPS, physical range DPS, magical range DPS, and healer roles. Yeah, and I have all those jobs leveled, so we'll just be able to go through and do them once I get to this. Once I get around to doing each one of them. Seek out the people of Troll gathered in Zabalia of Tyr and assist them with recovering their stolen treasures. From definitely not Organization 13. Actually, they seem like more Organization 12 to me, but... 12? 6. Okay, so the tank one seems to be over here. Yeah. Oh, okay, I thought it was going to be the bun girl. Where even is she? Oh, she's all the way over here. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started with the Dawntrail tank role quests. The narwhal beckons. The young woman gazes into the horizon with a troubled expression. Oh, hello. Judging by your attire, you must be a traveler from across the sea. I'm wearing a leather jacket and tennis shoes. I don't fit in Eorzea either. Let's see. Then I suppose Brook Evo has enlisted you to our aid. That you were guided here safely must be the work of the brave narwhal, what? Who remains watchful even in this dire time. We are ever grateful for its vigilance. My name is Lozeniqui. Yeah, Lozeniqui, I think that's about right. I hail from the northern reaches of Zaktaral, where even our breath freezes when caught in the chilling winds. Our people revere the Atralvadral of the narwhal, whose essence rests in the cradle of the sleepless, our most sacred treasure, through fathomless depths in swarm without rest. Oh, swam, not swarm. Through fathomless depths it swam without rest, protecting its home from any who do it harm. Legends tell that the narwhal could place the burden of its fatigue upon another, and thus was able to maintain its vigil night and day. So too can any who possess the cradle lull a person, willing or no, into a deep slumber, all while avoiding the need for sleep themselves. That sounds like it could be very easily abused. Needless to say, such power could cause untold harm in the wrong hands. Thus was the greatest warrior of our village, Tentoawa, tasked with crossing the ocean and returning that which is most sacred to us. I'd have joined him, but I feared I would only be a burden, so I remained here that I might find someone to send to his aid. Tentoawa has ever rushed bravely and blindly into the thick of things, leaving me behind to watch and worry. What are you, his mother? But if there's anything I can do to help him, even a little, then I must. Brook Evu has done well to send you to me. I can tell you are just the woman to temper his more reckless tendencies and keep him safe during his quest. Are you sure about that? Well, at least Alizé's not here. As luck would have it, a letter from Tentoawa arrived shortly before you did. It seems he's discovered that the thief made their way to a place called Ishgard. Oh, he's gonna do really well with having a religious artifact at Ishgard. Well, I don't doubt his prowess. Even Tentoawa would be rendered helpless before the narwhal's lullaby. Please, could you follow him to Ishgard and find him before he does anything rash? I believe Ishgard was the melee DPS in Endwalker. Or Korthus and surrounding areas was melee DPS. I vaguely remember doing that as Dragoon. Ishgard is like a second home to me. I won't let your treasure be misused. Yeah, let's go with the other one. That sounds a lot more, grandiose and hero-like. Thank you, Brilliant. I knew the narwhal would guide a brave protector to our side. Yeah. It's definitely not the blue quest marker above your head. Huh? Quest marker? What's that? Nothing. Tentoawa sails to an unfamiliar place, but despite his hasty nature, he'd doubtless spend time gathering information about his new surroundings before planning his next step. If Ishgard has a place like this one, where people gather to drink and talk, he might go there first. Ask for swordsmen with blue hair and attire like mine, and I'm sure it won't be long until you find him. Ah, yes, I know exactly where he is. He's in the bar, obviously. Tentoawa has traveled to Ishgard, and he's likely gathering information in the city's taverns. There's only one tavern, lady. Anyway, let's head on over to Ishgard. A nice hefty 1200 gil for the teleport. Or, just use an Aetheryte ticket. Alright, the bar is at... Oh, the Jeweled Crozier. The Forgotten Knight, that's what it's called. Let's head on in there. Looks like that's where he is. I didn't actually even check if the marker was there. Okay, Blue Swordsman? Nope. Alright, have you seen a Blue Swordsman? A Blue Swordsman? No, with blue hair, I mean. If it isn't Brilliant, what'll it be? I'm looking for a swordsman with blue hair. A lad from the western continent? Well, I can't be going around gossiping about the comings and goings of my customers, now can I? That's a quick way to empty a tavern. But I suppose since it's you, I can make an exception just this once. A lad much like the one you described walked through my door not long ago. Was asking anyone whose ear he could bend about some stolen narwhal or some such he was after. Usually you buy someone a drink before interrogating him, but not him. Nobody knew what he was going on about, but he was determined. Asked where else in Ishgard people might gather to flap their lips. So I told him to head to the Jeweled Crozier, yeah, the markets. If you leave now, I reckon he'll still be there. You'll know him when you see him. Trust me. Uh-oh. I mean, he's got blue hair, so he probably stands out like a sore thumb. Except, like, that's like half the characters in this game. Because, you know, JRPG and anime. Okay, the Jeweled Crozier is over here. Well, he said we'll know when we see him, so, let's see if we can find him. Ah, there he is. Hot-blooded youth. I don't think you're going to get along with these, elderly individuals of high class. Bunch of useless. By the narwhal's horn. You'd think manners keep people warm for how desperately these people cling to them. And here I'm trying to rid the city of a thief. Yes, it seems you know me, but I don't think I've ever seen you before. I do remember. Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean? Those Iniqui sent you? Even across oceans, she can sense when I'm in trouble. Well, I won't deny a helping hand, especially one with her blessing. I'm having no luck getting information from these people. Seems there's an unwritten rules regarding favors that no one's bothered to tell me. I'll leave it to me, I'll do all the work. Because, you know, I'm the main character. I know the thief traveled here, but that's where the trail runs cold, and I'm not just talking about the weather. I thought it'd only be a matter of time until they used the cradle to commit some misdeed or another. But it seems nothing is amiss within or without Ishgard's walls. Well, besides the dragons and everything, but I believe you resolved that. I have only a description to go on, although it's availed me nothing so far. A woman of a race known in this land as Elizin. She has striking red hair and eyes the color of rust. A scar dominates her forehead, and a mole rests upon her lips. She came to my village posing as a scholar with an interest in the cradle. Although she gave us a name, I know now that it was a lie, just like everything else that spewed from her mouth. The bounty of meat, vegetables, and fruits she offered was worth its weight in gold to us. After the cold snap we suffered last year, we couldn't afford to turn her away. But looking back, I realized how brazen her deception was. Although she wore the robes of a scholar, she moved with the poise of a predator. I marked her as a fearsome warrior the moment I laid eyes upon her. Of course, she wouldn't have been able to travel so far north on her own if she was unseasoned, so I thought nothing of it at the time. It was my first misstep of many. That's all I know. It's not much, but if you see even the smallest scrap of a clue in here, if you see even the smallest scrap of a clue in there, it'd be a damn sight better than what I currently have. Few scholars study in Ishgard without passing through the astrologium. Except for the Scala, whatever, however you say that. It's if she feels even an ounce of guilt, she would seek penance in the same. Yeah, that's not gonna be useful. A skilled sword might be known among the knights of the congregation. Yeah, that might be true. Knights, was it? I suppose that's what you call those deadly-looking fellows clad in steel. Yes, you may be onto something there. But where would we find one willing to speak? Hello, Mr. Embrick? Yeah, I kind of, am friends with everyone here, so... At their barracks, near the tavern. I know the way. I'll meet you there. Alright, let's head on over to the... What's it called again? The Knights... Our Knights most heavenly. How... gaudy. Jeez. Okay, let's teleport back over near the tavern. Hello, Firm Albert. This is it, right? Let's not waste any time, Brilliant. It's Firm Albert. Not Fat Albert, Firm Albert. Why, Mistress Mason, what brings you to the congregation? This Passage of the Unbound is not a name I have heard before, but if one of their numbers has brought an artifact of great power to Ishgard, we would be ill-advised to suffer their presence. Also, they are a blasphemer and what do they call them? Heretic, and we must execute her at once. We shall act on this information at once. If there is aught that would threaten the peace, then it is our duty to root it out. Consider the knights of the congregation at your disposal. Thank you for hearing us out, truly. Now, does anything about the description we shared ring a bell? An Ellison woman with red hair and eyes the color of rust. Wait, you said she bore a scar on her forehead, yes? And a mole? No, it could not be. You know who she is? Well, such information is usually privy only to those within our order. Pray understand my hesitation. What? Weren't you listening to anything we told you? She's too dangerous to be left alone. This isn't the time for secrecy. I know I'm a stranger in your city, but I can't stand by while innocent lives might be at risk. You heard the man. If you can't trust Tentaawa, then trust me. He's right. The danger justifies bending the rules just a little. Nah. Can't be doing that, then it'll be a slippery slope. You were right, of course. If the hero who ended the Dragonsong War is not worthy of our trust, then who is? Very well, plus I'll call Emmerich if you don't tell me. Master Tentaawa, pray accept my apologies. Although you may not be an Ishgardian, your desire to keep its people safe is plain to see. We shall place our trust in you, as Mistress Mason has. Are you speaking for me, sir? I do not trust this guy. I'm just here for the quest. I'm glad we can see eye to eye. Now then, what do you know of this thief? Your description called back some old memories. Memories of a knight named Leofine. Merely recalling her story makes me ill at ease, for the mark she left upon our honorable order was black as pitch. None know her None know of her whereabouts since she was expelled from the congregation. I had thought living with the shame of her deeds would be punishment enough, but if she now consorts with villains that threaten the very foundation of the order, then 'tis clear we can suffer her freedom no longer. I shall inform my superiors of this development, and suggest that the congregation does all in its power to track down Leofine and place her in custody. If we learn aught of value, I promise to share it with you at once. Really? That's more than we could have asked. I suppose we ought to consider what to do in the meantime. Care to join me over there, Brillian? Actually I do. Stupid character, why are you nodding stoically? I shall inform my superiors at once. Worry not, we shall soon form a plan to bring that wicked Leofine to heel. Alright, let's go join him over there, as he says. Yep, there he is. Go ahead and wrap up this first quest. I think we got like 6 quests to go on this, so this is gonna take a while. So, we have her name, Leofine, a former knight of Ishgard. That means she knows how to hide herself in the city well. Grasping about at straws won't get us anywhere. My own unfamiliarity does little to help our chances. We may have no choice but to wait until the knights discover a lead. Nevertheless, I intend to spend every waking moment learning more about the city and its workings. As for you, I only ask that you be ready to move at a moment's notice. Until then, be well. Yeah, except the moment's notice will only come if I accept the next quest. Okay, let me go ahead and check. I'm pretty sure we have like... There's like 4 of these quests? Okay, let's see. Well, you got through the narwhal is bacon, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 more quests today. That's gonna be quite a bit, but let's get started with the next one. Let's go ahead and get started with the next one. Sleepless in Ishgard. Tintaawa is eyeing each passing Ishgardian with curiosity. There you are, Brillian. I've been walking Ishgard's streets whenever I've been able. You've been standing right here this whole time. What are you talking about? And I've taken to searching for any sleeping people. Huh? Oh, right. Because the relic puts them to sleep. I thought he was like gonna go and like disturbing homeless people for some reason. You see, the land I'm from isn't much warmer than this, and people know not to tempt fate by dozing off in the open air. Even those blind with drink manage to find their way home somehow. I figure the only force powerful enough to overcome that instinct for self-preservation would be the cradle. So if we find a sleeper exposed to the elements, we may very well discover Leofine nearby. I can't imagine she brought it all the way just to remain idle. It's a tedious prospect, but we need to scour every back alley and shadowed walkway before anyone catches something much worse than a cold. I mean, if we head down to the poor area, I'm sure we'll find plenty of people sleeping in the cold. Mistress Mason, Mistress Tintaawa, I bring good tidings. The Temple Knights wasted no time in distributing handbills across Ishgard containing Leofine's description. These efforts have already borne fruit. We but recently received a report of someone matching her features being sighted. Really? Where? She was sighted near Camp Dragonhead by a patrolling sentry. He described a woman with red hair and a distinct scar on her forehead. The outpost can be reached by passing through the Gates of Judgment and heading east. Once there, speak to Sir Noir? What? These names, man. For the full report. I knew she'd show herself. Let's hurry, Brillian. Stoic nod. Alright, let's head on out to Camp Dragonhead. Now, of course, for whatever reason in Ishgard, they decided that they only have an exit out to the south. Oh, wait, that's where I need to go. Never mind. I was thinking we were going to court this Western Highlands. And actually, I guess they said Camp Dragonhead, right? There's literally an Aether right there. Just teleport. Okay, looks like he's over here. This must be him. Well, don't dally. Hello, Eugene. Ah, I was informed you were on your way. This is concerning the report by one of our sentries, yes? He cited a woman matching the description in the handbill sent by the congregation. She was headed south. She was heading south along the footpath, but that is all we know. Yes, this is Eugenia. Eugenia. What? Hold fast. I shall send aid at once. What happened? A shipment of supplies was waylaid by a monstrous beast. A contingent of temple knights should have been protecting it, but something is amiss. They need our help. Right. We would be in your debt. The shipment was attacked on a road west of the observatorium. Okay, that is how you say it, okay. I shall muster more knights. Please, go find my men before any lives are lost. The supply shipment was struck on the road west of the observatorium. It will take time to muster enough men for the rescue. Please, leave now and render the aid you can. I mean, like, it's not like, I mean, nothing's gonna happen until I actually get there, so don't worry about it. Okay, so where exactly we're headed? They said west of the observatorium. Yes, that's where it is. Let's head on over there. After doing that, voicing that intro quest, this is definitely going to be a longer stream, especially if I'm able to get through all of this. There he is. Unfortunately, I don't see who we're supposed to be helping. They should be close, right? I'll search the other side of the river. Brilliant. You search further down the road, and keep your weapons at the ready. Okay, guess we gotta go look for some purple smoke, right? Probably over by the convenient orange circle. Ah, yes. Oh, nope, I need a purple circle. Let's go ahead and take these out. And these are only level 92, so it's not like it's going to be difficult or anything. There we go. You okay, sir? You saved us! We were almost... Who's we? There's literally only one person here. You won't be feasting today! Oh hey, he can actually... Oh yeah, that's right, she said he actually could fight. Not a moment too soon, right. Sir, do you not see this giant flaming axe in my hands? The wide eye watches eternal, and eternal is the sleep it bestows. He's a heretic! We must take him down, Brilliant! We were too late. We failed. No, you didn't fail. We were just too late. No, they're not. Just look. They're asleep is all. Oh, okay. Good. Good. Our trusty chocobos suddenly became unsure on their feet, and the wagon toppled onto the side of the road. There's nothing for it but to fix the damage on the spot. The Temple Knights went to secure the area, but before I knew it, each and every one of them had fallen asleep where they were standing. Then the beast attacked. It was just me before those snarling fangs. Hey, sleepyhead, wake up. Time to wake up. Sleep here any longer, and the cold will have you. Oh, they don't have waking up technology? Oh, just slapping. Ah, what happened? We fell asleep, but we were patrolling. So now I'm getting paranoid about the audio again, so let me go ahead and check it. About the audio again, so let me... Yep, that sounds fine. He must be mistaken. A Temple Knight would never shirk his duty so. I beg to differ. Are you calling me a liar? I saw you fall over on your arse with my own eyes. If not for Sir Eugen Naw's quick response and the bravery of these warriors, we all would be food for the vultures by now. The congregation will hear of their dereliction of duty. You can be sure. I don't think you need to punish him that much. Well, maybe for calling him a liar, but... Now, hold on just a moment. They aren't the ones to blame. A sacred relic of my people was stolen, and... now isn't the time. Sorry, forget I said anything. Whatever dizziness overtook the chocobos seems to have passed, so I'll resume my journey once the carriage is repaired. Assuming my guards are quite refreshed, I believe we can make it on our own. Please, return to Camp Dragonhead and warm yourselves. It's no coincidence that the giant birds and the two guards took leave of their senses around the same time. This is the work of the cradle. Gee, really? But even if Leofine was here, she is no longer. Let's return to the city and consider our next steps. You said the knights from Camp Dragonhead are on their way, yes? I believe we shall have ample protection for the remainder of our journey. Alright, let's go ahead and teleport back to Ishgard. Okay, we meeting back over by the bar? Yes, we are. Well, I guess that's over by the congregation, actually. I'm gonna go talk to Firm Albert. Leofine may have escaped us, but the witness's report has given us a clue to follow. Thank the narwhal for guiding us swiftly to the knights. Did you just invoke the name of a god? You are a heretic! We must execute you. We have received the report of the incident near Camp Dragonhead. Two of our own sleeping on duty by the Fury. Had you reached them even a moment later, this day would have been much darker. Although it pains me to say, those two shall be punished as befits the magnitude of their negligence. If I may, I don't believe the blame rests entirely on their shoulders. The cradle of the sleepless was used against them, I'm certain. Ah, yes. You said it possessed the power to lull others into a deep sleep. I admit that would explain their exceptional circumstances. Regardless, they were still bested by their enemy, and their charge was almost killed as a result. Punishment is the only recourse. I see. A harsh stance, maybe, but I can respect that you don't treat your duty lightly. Well, if you learn anything else of Leofine's plot, please let us know at once. Even though we didn't find her, I'm glad we were able to save those soldiers. Thank you for coming to us. Nay, 'tis the Temple Knights who owe you thanks. We shall continue our search, and rest assured, you shall be the first to know of any developments, but of course we won't do that until Brillian goes and talks to you to start the next quest. Brillian, there's more I would tell you about the cradle. Things I should have told you sooner. Join me over there, and I'll do my best to fix that mistake. Anything else for him, Albert? We now know what our enemy is capable of, and must plan accordingly. Rest assured, we shall not rest until Leofine is in shackles, or she uses the cradle on us. Anyway, let's go ahead and head over here, wrap this quest up. Right, Tintawa? Are you going to tell us everything about the cradle now, or until the end of the next quest? Looks like it's going to be now. Now that you've seen with your own eyes what I've only been able to describe, the Narwhal's lullaby can put even hardened warriors into a restful slumber. If it works like tempering, then I don't nearly need to worry about this. They may as well be defenseless as a newborn babe. But even with such power, my people have never used it to attack our enemies. Its sole purpose has always been to guide a single Its sole purpose has always been to keep a single person awake, an eternal guardian who would never sleep, never rest, the wide-eye, me. For 10 years I've been awake, training day and night to gain the strength I have now, the strength to shield my people, and he's still only like a tenth of my strength. Of course, another must receive the weariness I cast aside. The Shut-Eye. You've met her, in fact. Nikwi. So she has to work twice as hard as in order to have the energy for both of you? As I've been awake for these 10 years, she spent the better part of her days in a deep slumber. This seems like it'd be a lot better idea to spread this across multiple people. Like to be like, okay, it's your week to go to give up your sleep, or I guess to give up your wakefulness. As I've been awake these 10 years, she spent the better part of her days in deep slumber. Her brief periods of wakefulness are spent exercising and eating, so her body doesn't waste away. Again, this scene does not seem like a good idea. Like, you should spread this among multiple people. And so we've bravely spoken. And so we've barely spoken. Despite how much I depend on her. When we were young, we'd spend our days exploring the mountain paths. But that time is long past. Telling you all this now, I realize how very little of my life has been dedicated to my own pursuits. Nikwi and I have both devoted ourselves entirely to the protection of our village. That explains your skill, right. How did Leofine steal the artifact from such an accomplished warrior? Don't you miss Nikwi? Ha ha ha, I'm not gonna ask that. Although that did come off a bit condescending, but whatever. Well, about that. No, I've no excuse. It was my fault it was stolen, and I'll bear the burden. A protector must take responsibility for his charges. But we don't have the luxury to dwell in regrets. I see now that although my people never used the cradle for ill, wicked hearts can twist anything towards evil. And that's something I can't tolerate. The very thought of that this might happen again makes the bile churn in my gullet. We must bring Leofine's schemes to an end. Alright, that wraps up the second one. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the third one. Between sleep and death, Tintoawa has a worried expression on his face. Ah, just the person I wanted to see. I'd like to ask your advice on a certain matter, if you don't mind. Just a second, I want to change something on my mic settings. People above me, they're walking and the wood is creaking and it's piercing through my my gate. Okay, so let's go ahead and do like 33.8 instead. Yeah, it still goes right through the gate. Oh well. It's been a while since my last letter to Lozaniqui. I wanted to wait until I discovered something worth sharing to write her, but we're still completely in the dark. I don't want her to worry, but I don't know what to tell her. Tell her how much you miss her. Tell her you're in good spirits. That will suffice. Whatever you write down, don't make her wait too long. Yeah, let's just go with the spirits. You might be right. Silence might make her think that something terrible has happened. Alright, I'll start right away. I may not have much time left, excuse me? Oh, he's probably gonna fall asleep. Oh, don't misunderstand. It's nothing so grave as that. It's just... The last time I used the cradle was just before it was stolen. Luckily, I'm still as alert as I've ever been, but it won't be long until I must dream like any other. You know, that's another thing I hadn't even thought of, is that this guy's literally never had dreams, and this kind of goes against the whole, like, point of sleep is to, like, people who don't have dreams, like, are literally, literally, more depressed than other people. It's, like, literally, like, you need to dream. It's like, the fact that this guy doesn't sleep at all is, like, completely is gonna mess up his psyche. But, of course, this is a fantasy game, and this is fiction, so let's just go with it. That will give Leofine free reign while I'm helpless in bed. There is no quarry more dangerous than one who doesn't sleep. We have to see this through before that happens. That's right, she gets to absorb the sleep from others. In the same way that he used to use it. Oh, big news! Mistress Mason, Master Tintoawa. We have received reports that several groups of Temple Knights have fallen afoul of what can only be your stolen artifact. Several? Let me guess. They were all guarding someone else. You would be correct. It is the duty of a knight to protect those who cannot protect themselves. If we failed at even the most basic function, then our honor means nothing. As if the incident near Camp Dragonhead was not shameful enough, the knights in those most recent attacks were left in quite compromising positions. What? Is she placing them all like that? Yet the weight of embarrassment is a trifle compared to the guilt we would bear if any innocent came to harm. The Fury was merciful in that respect. Yeah, about the Fury, let's just pretend we didn't see what happened in the Alliance raids. But we would rather not see these incidents repeat. Still, while the Temple Knights must work to repair their reputation in the days ahead, 'tis a far cry from bringing Ishgard crumbling to its knees. Truth be told, the methods of the Passage of the Unbound leave me mystified. Yeah, that's because they're, incompetent. But Leofine was cunning, if nothing else. Till we can discern her true motivations, we have little recourse but to wait until she makes a mistake. Perhaps she gets her jollies from seeing people humiliated. She may be testing the limit of the artifact's power. Well, that's a little more serious. Then you suggest she has a great purpose in mind for it, and these incidents are simply a prelude? We cannot discount that theory, I admit, but we shall remain vigilant. Right. There's no telling how much chaos she can sow if left unchecked. We have to do anything we have to do everything we can to get the cradle out of her clutches. Bro, we're working on it. Calm down. And to do that, we have to start asking the right questions. This new information makes me wonder, why has she focused her attention on the Temple Knights? So she can get revenge for them kicking her out for whatever stupid thing she did. I've pondered the same. Posted at Camp Dragonhead are knights from the many houses of repute, including House Fortemps. Being a former temporal knight herself, Leofine doubtless knows their habits and their training. Perhaps that makes it easier for her to exploit their weaknesses. Then if we follow the knights, we may pick up her trail. It's not ideal, but it's the best we have to go on. Well, a large contingent of knights has but recently been dispatched to Korthus. You remember Gorgain Mills, right? I remember the name, I don't know who that was. It has lain abandoned ever since the heretics were driven from it. Oh yeah, that was at the beginning of Heavensward. Yet there is ever the risk that unsavory elements might infest it once again. Thus have the Temple Knights planned joint patrols of its premises with other contingents. If you speak with Sir Redwald at Falcon's Nest, I'm certain he would be glad to have you along. Alright, let's head on over there. All right, now this is what I was complaining about earlier, when we were trying to leave through the south. For whatever reason, they don't have this. They don't have a thing here to go out this exit, which doesn't make any sense because they do that in like every other city. There's a aetheryte teleport out the gate, like literally outside of each one of the exit points in the city. But for whatever reason, they didn't add one for this side. Maybe it's because in the story, I think you like have to have your black chocobo to fly or something. Either way, it's not that much of a pain. Let's go ahead and talk with Redwald here. Not Redwald, Redwald. Is that Mistress Mason I see? Of course. You are ever welcome in Falcon's Nest. Yet I believe I do not know your companion here. Indeed, whispers of the Temple Knight's humiliations have reached us even here. Falling asleep while on duty, I dared not believe the stories, but it seems there was truth in them after all. They fell asleep, true, but it wasn't their fault. We suspect they fell victim to an enemy wielding a powerful artifact. A heretic artifact? We must execute the ones of their tribe. Now the rumors failed to mention anything like that. If it can lull even trained warriors to sleep, then we must treat it as a serious threat. Nevertheless, if one knight falls, another is always at the ready to take their place. So long as this artifact cannot be put an entire regiment under its spell, I believe we are well positioned to combat it. Interesting. The idea of your allies falling in battle doesn't seem to disturb you at all. Trust me, kid, I have seen a lot of shit. Where I hail from, a single warrior is responsible for the safety of his entire village. Yeah, well, we have a lot more bodies we can throw at it. Make no mistake, we do not doubt our allies' mettle, and we mourn every loss. Yet each man and woman here knows that if they must quit the battle, another sword just as fierce will take their place. To know that an ally has your back, it would allow you to fight with abandon. Yeah, but is it a reckless abandon? Now, you believe this Leofine might take interest in our activities at Gorgonane Mills? Yes? A party has already left, accompanied by a group of Temple Knights. If your suspicions are correct, and they are at risk, I would ask that you follow in their tracks and ensure they have not fallen victim to foul play. The mills can be found in the north. Yes, I know, it's on my map. What map? Nothing. Just across the Black Iron Bridge. The party should be arriving there soon, conditions permitting. These conditions look great. You know, the rain that's falling horizontally, or the snow. We have to reach them before Leofine does. Are you sure Leofine is heading there? Because I think you're just jumping to conclusions and making assumptions. I would talk to him. Actually, no, I'm gonna try talking to him, see if, nope. Just a side quest. Maybe I would get another dialogue option if I had finished that side quest, but we're obviously not going to do that right now. Anyway, let's head on up to the mill. Yeah, that's where you meet Iceheart for the first time, or not the first time. When you meet up with, or you find Iceheart and her, some of her people in the basement. Towards the beginning of the story, if I recall correctly. It's been so long since I did Heaven's Ward. Like, literally, it's been like 3-4 years now. Yeah, I think it's almost been 4 years since I did Heaven's Ward. I'm thinking I might actually stop halfway through these quests, just because, like, I'm really tired today. And with that extra intro quest, it ended up taking a little bit more time. I ended up taking like a full 20 minutes. But let's go ahead and make sure we finish up this one first. Oh, looks like we didn't get here in time. We're too late. They're fast asleep. But Redwald gave the impression there was more. These knights must have been the lookouts. Uh-oh. We should awaken them, but keep our eyes peeled for Leofine. I'll rise these ones, Brillian. You search that building yonder. You mean the mill? They haven't been left in embarrassing positions, but this bears Leofine's mark all the same. Well, that's true. I'll rise this lot awake. You search the building over there. Yes. Let's head into the basement. Just go riding on in. There we go. It didn't open for a second. Oh, there we go. Who the hells are you? How'd you get past the guards? What? That's actually the first time I think. Have they ever done that before? Where it stops you and plays dialogue like that without doing an explicit cutscene? Or without doing like you having to like talk to someone like that? Anyway, this is gonna go well. And I've got a really bad habit of using my upheaval before I actually finish doing Storm's Eye. And so I've been trying to break that ever since I realized, like, oh, right, that's suboptimal. Anyway, you okay, bro? Doesn't look like you guys are asleep. It's you. Thank the fury you arrived when you did. Those thugs struck when our backs were turned. I assumed the Temple Knights were protecting the entrance, so I wasn't as cautious as I should have been. Were they killed? Nope, don't worry, they were just put to sleep somehow. Because what's her name? Neophine isn't here. Or Leophine? Yeah. Sleeping? I've heard the stories, of course, but I didn't think they were true. Whoever is behind this, I'm sure they didn't count on you showing up. Well, that's for sure. For now, we shall tend to our wounds and then finish our inspection here. Mistress Mason, I ask that you join the knights outside and wait until we're finished. Well, I think we found her. Ah, as I thought. Just when I was becoming bored, I sighted a familiar face among these slumbering knights. I simply had to come and make sure it was you. You finally found the courage to show yourself. Hand over the cradle now, and I won't kill you. Dude, it's like 5-on-1. What are you talking about? What did they call you again? The Wide Eye. You must have had quite the journey to come this far. Oh, now we're good. Because I can take like 10 at once. Be careful, Brillian. This is our quarry. This is our quarry. The thief who stole the cradle from the sleepless. This is Leophine. That is your ally? Their arms hardly look fit to hold a sword, except I'm holding an axe, ma'am. Who is to say they do not seek your artifact for themselves? You know, that's not a bad, no, I would never do that. It matters not, I suppose. It matters not, I suppose. Before you both throw your lives away, I suggest you think for a moment. Is the cause you fight for worth the sacrifice? Yeah. Also, I'm not throwing my life away. I can take all of you at once. So few of us know true freedom. If there is aught you would grasp with your own hands, do so before they wither and your eyes shut for the last time. The codes and rules that would bind men are mere illusions. Open your eyes, truly open them, and you shall see a path all your own. Only a fool would waste their life in the struggle of another. It sounds like the Dark Knight version of myself. Quit spouting nonsense. Nonsense? Perhaps. I'm here because of another, after all. Apiahi. who came to me at the height of my debauchery and welcomed me into her devious brotherhood. She guided me to great power, yes, and now I lead others upon the unbound path. Yet, truth be told, I have little interest in seeing where it ends. To tear down the world's nations, Ishgard among them, and usher the world into, well, what does it matter? Yet I do derive great pleasure in shaming the Temple Knights, in seeing the snickers and jeers deflate their pompous stride as they walk down the streets. If this artifact can hasten their fall from grace, I believe I shall keep it. Wait, never sleeping unless you go Super Saiyan? Yeah, I definitely want this artifact now. I know the path I walk, the one that leads to your downfall. And I won't abandon it. I'll take the cradle back. And then I'll fall asleep. Yep. Yeah, I saw that coming. Oh dear, you seem to have lost your train of thought. I know you cannot hear me, but if you want your artifact back, I suggest stealing it from me while I'm asleep. But considering the burden I've just passed on to you, that opportunity may not come for some time yet. Why, I feel absolutely transcendent. To think the shackles of fatigue weighed so heavily. Alas, it appears the artifact needs its own repose of sorts. No matter, I've learned more than enough to take my next step. See to it that this lot is disposed of. 'Tis the least you can do for the freedom I have given you. Well, time to take out some more nameless thugs. I'm really good at that. You know, actually, I'm good at killing in general, but, you know. Also. Oh, I was gonna say, if I just don't stand in the circle, then, like, I don't think we really have a problem. Oh, well, guess they're dead. Anyway, time to wake up, sleepyhead. That's a long bar. Try as you might to rouse Tenda Awa. He seems completely detached from the waking world. Well, considering he's literally never fallen asleep, I think he's probably gonna need a bit of time. Probably got a lot of dreams to make up for. It looks like you've saved us twice today. Thank you. But what of him? Oh, he's gonna be out for a while. Fast asleep, just as we were. Could this be from Sir Firm Albert? What Sir Firm Albert? Firm Albert? Firm Albert, yeah, that's how you say it, okay. Warned us of in his report? Warned us of in his report? Yeah, pretty much. I see. Then those stories are more than just wicked rumors. I suppose there is some small comfort in the fact that our enemy tipped their hand without causing loss of life. But drowsiness made my eyes heavy. My ears could not mistake Leofine's arrogant voice. If she would not scruple to attack former comrades in arms, then she has fallen further than I dared imagine. Yet we bear the blame for allowing her to get the upper hand, and in so doing, put innocent lives in danger. Another black mark on our order. 'Twas only thanks to you that her companions' efforts that 'Twas only thanks to you and your companions' efforts that the snow was not stained red this day. At the very least, allow us to carry him to the congregation. Yeah, I saw that at least 2 of the quests weren't started from him, so I kind of figured he was going to be out of commission for a little bit. Our work here is done, so we shall accompany them as far as Falcon's Nest. Brilliant. Pray return to Ishgard and look after your friend. Do I have to? Alright, let's teleport on back to Ishgard. That should be the end of the quest, right? Yes. And I think I will go ahead and wrap it up here, just because I'm really tired today. And these quests are longer than the, what are they called? Than the Wachu Meki Meki deliveries were. Because, like, I would be pretty much done with one of the Wachu Meki Meki delivery quest lines by now. But these are, we're only halfway through the other one. We're only halfway through, the role quests. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap up this one with Firm Albert. Full glad am I to see you well, Mistress Mason. I understand you come fresh from an encounter with none other than Leofine. Master Tentaawa now rests on the 2nd floor. We shall stand vigil by his side every moment until he opens his eyes again. We should not have long to wait, but if you wish to check on him, please do so at your leisure. There is another matter to discuss. Just before your departure to Crogain Mills, it seems there was another incident. A group of criminals were released from their cells, their guards found in a deep sleep. Doubtless Leofine was behind this. And doubtless the ruffians you clashed with were the self-same criminals. Right, she did say about granting them freedom. Leofine is gathering those who bear a grudge against the Temple Knights to her side, and using this animosity to her advantage. We now know for certain that Leofine is the mastermind of these attacks, and that her aim is to chip away at the very foundation of the Temple Knights, our honor. When I shared these revelations with my superiors, 'twas decided that none would speak publicly of the artifact and its powers. Doesn't that sound like a good excuse? Well, it does sound like they're making excuses, though. The passage of the Unbound seeks to overthrow the nations of the world. One obvious method to achieve this goal would be to stoke the flames of unrest among the common folk, thus sinking Ishgard into a mire of chaos and distrust, not unlike the blasphemies of the final days. So long as these failures are placed squarely on the shoulders of the Temple Knights, we can avoid fomenting a more abiding mistrust in the nation's very core. For Ishgard's peace, I would gladly suffer any disgrace. The question remains as to whether we can apprehend Leofine before she tears our reputation to tatters. While Master Tentaawa slumbers, it falls to us to search for clues that might point towards her whereabouts. Sounds good to me. Unfortunately, that's all we're going to be doing for today. Now, as much as I would like to continue and finish it off, I've already said multiple times already now that I'm tired, and this is longer than each one of these is going to be longer than the Wachu Meki Meki deliveries. Well, actually, if we didn't need to do the intro quests, then that would have saved us a good, like, 15-20 minutes. So, like, on the subsequent ones, I might try and get through them all in one stream, but for this one, I'm gonna split it up into 2 streams, and actually I didn't even double check. Is that the halfway point? I think it is. Yes, I think that was between sleep and death. Yes, okay, so we're halfway through the tank quests, and then next time we'll go ahead and just finish them up. But, until next time, goodbye.